There is nothing wrong with your viewing device. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are in control. We will control the volume. We will control the colors. We will control the screen size. For the next several minutes, sit quietly, and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience a great adventure. You are about to enjoy the freaking bossomeness that is...
Hello BroDude and Dudettes, this is Brody aka BroDude, and welcome back to another BroDude official episode. It's been about 2 years now, but we're back. Yeah, season 2 didn't go so well. Whatever. But we're back. That's what's important. And we have Camera Dude and I here, and we will be discussing which is better, Mario Odyssey, me, of course, represented by my shirt, versus Mario 64.
That would be me.
Would you like to start?
I could start. A little history lesson for you all, in case you're not familiar with Super Mario 64. Along with Pilot Wing 64, Super Mario 64 was one of the actual launch titles for the Nintendo 64 system in 1996. A wonderful, wonderful year. More importantly than that, it is the first Mario game to use three-dimensional graphics. And at the time, it blew your mind playing this game. Like, everyone loved Mario, but this was like a step above. It still had the same fun gameplay of Mario, but now you have the ability to explore these incredible worlds in all directions.
Alright, well that's great. But, I mean, it made Mario 3D, and that's great. But Mario Odyssey perfected it. Mario Odyssey came out pretty recently, the newest console from Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch, and it has revolutionized Mario. We have a new companion, Cappy, who is he's the best addition to a game that you could have ever asked for in Mario. I mean, like now, I can go and play any other Mario game, and it'll be weird because I don't have Cappy with me. I mean, Cappy, just like the Flood Mario Sunshine, a great addition and very original.
Okay, I don't even know where to go with this. Okay, so you're gonna say that Super Mario Odyssey perfected what Mario 64 started, but let's not overlook that Mario 64 started it. And you have to give credit to something that was so revolutionary and so brand new. Okay, but let's go even further. Something that's really cool about Mario 64 that I really enjoy is the multiple camera angles. The camera angles are actually independent of the player, so instead of just looking through the eyes of the player, you can switch camera angles, which is very cool. It leads to a very customizable gameplay experience.
I was actually going to talk about that, because the camera in Mario 64 is the most annoying thing ever. You know how many times I've screwed up in that game? How many unfair times that I've died because of the camera? Too many times. You know what game doesn't have that problem? Mario Odyssey.
Okay, if we're going to talk about problems with the game, let me just touch on this really quick. I understand that the Switch, is this new gimmicky thing, and I'm not cutting down the Switch, and I'm not cutting down Mario Odyssey, but it's almost nearly impossible to play the game without using the motion controls. And the motion controls are kind of weird and blah, and sometimes you can screw up trying to do like a hat flip and things like that because it's difficult to do that, but it seems that they really, really want you to do that.
Yeah, but there's options, like ways you don't have to use the motion controls. And all you have to do is shake it. I mean, it's not. I would disagree. I don't think it's too bad.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Okay, in Super Mario 64, I believe there's 150 stars that you can collect throughout the game. Do you know how many magic moons or something like that in Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
Any idea how many moons there are?
Yeah, 999.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Who's gonna collect 999 moons? But then again, here's the other thing. They're not as special. There's 999 of them. That's not special. Some of them you just it's like climb a ladder and get a moon. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's a little bit overkill, don't you think?
Yeah, but you don't have to collect all of the moons. You just have to get a specific amount to beat the game. You don't have to complete the game.
Okay. Alright, fine. Fair enough.
And yet again, if we're talking about problems, I'm going to go to the very awful bosses in Mario 64. I mean, you got the Bomb, and you just have to walk around him. You win. You got Bowser. You spin him around. You win. I mean, but in Mario Odyssey, they're not easy, but they're not hard. They're not too hard. They're the perfect difficulty. And I was going to get into that with Mario 64. Other than the bosses, I think that game is a bit too hard. And I think that Mario Odyssey is a perfect difficulty. I don't think it's too easy.
Mario Odyssey is a bit too easy. Maybe not. I don't know. But I feel like something that's a little more challenging is going to keep you playing longer. What if you can get through Odyssey and then are you going to go back and play it?
Yes,
64.
because there's 999 moons going back to that, and then after you beat the game, you have the dark side of the moon, the darker side of the moon, and all the other extra collectible things that you can get. There is so much content in Mario Odyssey that will keep you coming back for more. I'm still playing it.
The dark side of the moon and the darker side of the moon? Is this a Mario game or a Pink Floyd album? What, are you going to play the game while you're watching The Wizard of Oz now? Give me a break. What is this?
It's just, I mean, they're keeping with the moon theme, you know? And I also want to mention, I mean, if you like your Mario 64, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Mario 64, you can go back to Mario 64 in the game, not only with a costume, but also with a secret area, which is in the style of Mario 64.
Well, since we're touching on actually bringing it back to the actual Nintendo 64, I'm still a big fan of this particular controller. And what I like about Mario 64 with this controller is that each of these buttons actually has an individual function. There's no double, it's not like two jump buttons that do the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I do, but if we're talking about controllers, you got the Nintendo Switch. So many ways to play. You can play it on the sides, you can take them off, you can play like this, you can play just like this, you can use a Pro controller, you could attach it onto this controller. I mean, there are so many ways to play this game, and there has to be at least one way that you like.
Okay.
They please everybody.
I'm going to give you a little bit of props for the Pro controller because I do like the Pro controller probably the best. But still, this is one of my favorites. I just can't, I mean, it just feels so good in my hand.
I guess now we're talking about the software now.
I wish I could control you with this.
I mean, I think we're getting a bit into the software now. I think we need to head back to the Mario games in question here.
Okay.
And I'll start back up with the power-ups. So in Mario 64, you have about 3 power-ups. I think there's a Metal Mario, there's the cap that makes you fly, and there's something else, I think, invisible. I'm not quite sure, but they're not very good. They're a major step down from the other Mario games, and so they don't have any necessarily power-ups in Mario Odyssey, but they're better. You can use Cappy, another great addition. You can use Cappy, and then you can capture your enemy. I mean, you can become a Goomba. You can become a T-Rex. You can become Bowser at the end of the game. Those are some great power-ups.
All right, that's sort of cool. That's sort of cool. I'd be remiss, and I don't know how this ties in, but I'd be remiss if I talked about Mario 64 and I did not mention L is Real 2401. Okay, so it's a long-standing rumor that Luigi was a playable character in the Mario 64 game based on the text L is Real being found inside the game, and
but that's not true.
No.
That's very not true.
No,
you know what
it's
else?
a lot of fun to think about.
It was also in Legend of Zelda game.
It was. You are correct. You were correct. And as a matter of fact, I believe it was, I don't know if it was a Game Informer or Nintendo Power. Someone actually offered a reward if someone could prove the rumor to be true. But sadly,
that's pretty cheap. I think that's very cheap. Trying to make people spend hours and hours trying to find Luigi, that's ridiculous. And I also want to bring up, if we're talking about going back to Mario 64, we got another callback here. Once you beat the game and you get to Peach's Castle, well, when you go in, I mean, it's a very similar world to Mario 64 and the Peach's Castle and all. And you can also go to the top of the roof and you can see Yoshi, which is a great callback to Mario 64. So, I mean, and talking about callbacks to other Mario games, this is really just a celebration of Mario games. You have the 2D sections where you can go in, and then it'll be in the style of the original Super Mario Bros. And that's great. And then, when you costumes, like whatever costume that you have, it will be in that style. There's just so much variability.
Alright, if you're going to bring up the ending of a game, then I'm going to go there. And this is a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you have not beat either one of these games, you might want to cover your ears for a second. At the ending of Super Mario Odyssey, do you know what happens to Mario? Mario tries to marry Princess Peach, and she shuts him down. She shuts him down, bro. After everything that he has done for her, she shuts him down. That's sad to go through all that and then just be rejected. At least at the end of Super Mario 64, he gets a kiss on the cheek and she bakes him a cake. I mean, for crying out loud.
Oh,
it's
cake.
the least. Well, cake is better than rejection, the way I see it.
You know who she also rejects? She rejects Bowser too. They're both, oh, pick me, pick me. And then she's her own individual woman. Okay? Feminism is shown by Peach, and she becomes her own woman, and she walks away. And then Cappy helps him go back into the hot air balloon thing. And so it's all okay. And they're all cool. I mean, I'm sure in the next game, then he'll get a kiss again and stuff. It's all good. Maybe she just wasn't prepared to marry him yet. Okay. All right.
Okay. Hold on. No. Stop. Really, with the water bit again? That is so old. How many? Are you going to do this in every video? Seriously? Can you come up with something new for real?
All right, fine. let's get back here to this.
I'm a little shook. I don't even know where to go from there. In all honesty, those are the majority of my notes that I had. If there's anything else specifically that you'd like to discuss, the floor is yours, sir.
I will bring up the worlds in Mario Odyssey. The worlds in Mario Odyssey are very, very good. I mean, you got like a food world thing. I mean, it's great. It's Luncheon Kingdom. You got the real life world that's inspired by Donkey Kong. I mean, that's very cool. You got the moon. I mean, it's the moon. Then you got, like I said, that callback to Mario 64, very similar looking castle in an area. And also, not only that, but I have something else to bring up. The bosses are pretty good in the game. I would say that they're a bit too easy, I'm not going to lie, but I would just certainly say that they're less easy than Mario 64's bosses. I think that they're a decent challenge. You got the Bowser fight is certainly better, and you got some other bosses in there that are pretty good, and finally the Koopalings are gone. We got some new characters, so that's good.
Okay.
Those are most of my notes. That's about all I got.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna fight you anymore about this. I'm gonna give you this. I think they're both great games. I personally choose Mario 64, but I will not dog your game, sir. I do believe that it is also a great game.
I would agree. I'm also a fan of Mario 64, and in the end, I mean, they're both Mario games, and Mario is awesome. Alright guys, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Tell us who you think won the argument. What do you think is the better game? Do you think it's Mario Odyssey, or do you think it's Mario 64? Alright guys, just leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. BroDude out.
Ah. That went pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. Hey guys, thanks for watching the BroDude video. I was editing and I just realized I actually forgot to give a shout out to my good friend Elliot. Thank you, Elliot. I mean, you kind of inspired me to start working on BroDude again. And that's all I have to say. All right, guys, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. BroDude out.